Says you're live.
We're live. Hey, welcome everybody. Mayor Young, Scott Rubin, All Games Interactive. It's been 14 years. What have you been up to?
You know,
Not much, right?
The same thing we do every night. Yeah. Try to take over the world. No, I mean, yeah, it's interesting because that's an interesting question. What have you been up to? Not a lot. I don't know. Like, it doesn't feel like a whole bunch, but at the same time,
I had two babies.
I know you did
since we last.
Yeah, no, I have not done that. And it's not like I'm still with Nia, so I'm still with the same lady, and we're having a good time. And life's changed obviously, but life changed for everybody in the past 2.5 years, right? So
yeah, let's rattle off some names. So Jessica, we know Jessica lives with Christian, her boyfriend,
right?
And they make games.
Yeah, they make VR games.
Thank you, Makos. Thank you for coming back.
Hey, Makos.
Your poor lady in bed going, why are you
I know.
looking at these Americans?
What is this?
Why are there two guys on your phone?
Right.
I'm in bed with you.
Why is he so loud?
We love you, Makos.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
You were saying, like, where's Jessica?
Yeah, Jessica and Christian. They make games.
Yeah.
And then Mo.
Yeah, Mo
is a hairdresser.
No, he's a barber.
He's a hairdresser.
He's never done a head of hair.
What do you mean?
A barber and a hairdresser are different.
Oh, what does a barber do?
They cut hair.
What does a hairdresser do?
They do hair. Like, they style it, which I don't get wrong. Mo styles hair too. So
he's a hairdresser.
I know.
Fine. That's nothing wrong with being a hairdresser.
Okay, look, he's gonna get you a Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
We shout you out every week. I don't know if you know that.
I heard you do that one time, and I was like, that was so nice. And I was like, did he know that I was listening?
No, I literally do it every single week.
I know.
Look, in fact, I messed around and missed it one week, and I was like, oh my! I felt so bad.
Why?
Because it's true what I say when I'm like, this would not have happened without you. I did not have the idea to do a show about comic books as much as I love comic books. Despite the fact that I'm helping produce and co-host an entire show about video games, which I love too, but not even in the same way that I love comic books.
Right.
And no point did I say to myself, like, you know what, I'm gonna do this same thing, but with comics. You said that to me. You're like,
I couldn't understand why you guys weren't.
You're right.
You knew more than anyone else on the planet.
It's like me and Moses are having these conversations in arena, and you're like, dude, this is a show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
I know, right? This is a show.
Yeah, and it's proof because there's literally a show on AMC, Comic Book Man or whatever.
Yeah, which I don't even think is still there. But Comic Book Man is a different show that's not as good.
Right.
Yeah, not as good. But still, it's like I get and then that's Kevin Smith.
Makos didn't know that you do a show about comics, so tell him about it.
Yeah, so it's Fantastic Forum. We do it every Wednesday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. And you can go to Fantastic Forum on YouTube. Actually, you know where you go? You go to fantasticforum.live. Fantasticforum.live will get you to the YouTube, to the Twitch. We do some videos on YouTube as well that aren't the show, but Moses will do smaller comic book reviews. Oz does collectible reviews and such like that. And it's like there's a lot of content there actually because we've been doing we started doing video in the pandemic,
right? And
so
yes, I noticed that you guys switched to video. That's awesome.
Because it was
it's easy. Just flick a switch at that point. But you guys should have comics, you should VTube it and have a comic character representing you. That way you don't even have to care what you look like. You just turn it on and then you have a animated character do your voice.
It would be interesting to be able to have a virtual
have someone create a graphic art version of you, whatever style, manga, whatever you want, Archie, Jughead, I don't know. And then you just need a few frames, right, of the mouth moving and maybe a head tilt. And then you feed that into the little system, and then it takes your voice and it moves it for you. I've been on the show 5 minutes. I've already reinvented your show.
Thanks, Scott Rubin. There it is.
Get to work.
This is why we thank you every week. This is why. So
he says he's going to sub to your. He did sub.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Look, We will take those subs, man.
I do notice that there are a lot more comic book. Like it does feel like everyone now is a comic book expert. And, and those guys at Meltdown Comics, they stole your idea after we went in there and tried to get that space. And they actually offered us the space and then took it away from us.
Yeah, they did.
But that now they've gotten karma full circle, right? Because they're gone.
They are, and you know, I mean, I'm not happy about,
right?
You know, because I don't want like the comic book industry. In some ways is thriving, and in other ways it's, you know, it's a little
going
shaky.
through challenges because it's a digital world now.
It is a digital world, and you know, digital comics are here, and it's like people aren't going to stop making comics because, like, Lord knows, like, I mean, Marvel Studios is one of the, or I should, Marvel Entertainment maybe is a better way to say it, is one of the biggest companies in the world right now, and I guess it's Disney, right?
Isn't it incredible? Think about what has happened, with Marvel, since our show ended, and then. Talk about how we are so ahead of the curve. What did we talk about endlessly towards the end of our show that has now become like it's dying now, but it was massive? The Walking Dead. You guys were on that as a graphic novel way before it was on TV.
No
you got Jessica into it, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And you guys would talk about that like it was this incredible thing. And I was always like, "Oh, zombie comic." And then I think it was
phenomenon.
A few years later, I think it was when something happened, and I was literally in Florida for I think I was going to visit my dad, and I binged the first 2 seasons, and I was like, holy shit, this is good.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, I still think the comic's better.
See, that's the thing. I never got into the comic, and so I would constantly come up against this they totally didn't. You know, the whole thing with the son. They killed off the son, but Carl and Negan teamed up in the comics, but not.
It's a wild thing, man. It's huge. And it's not like it's even done because they have all these spin-offs that they're doing or whatnot.
Right.
Too.
Yeah. No, they've totally obliterated it and ruined it. That Gimple guy, he's the worst. Scott Gimple. He ruined it. Because what happens, and this is done almost in every form of entertainment, is you just start trying to make the most of it. So you start stretching,
they oversaturate,
and watering it down, and making us not care about so many characters that it's such. And I get the angle. It's like there's more dimensions to this story, right? It took place in different places, but the whole youth generation, there's one show, New World or whatever. I was like, oh, come on, really?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
You checked out of the show.
It's not so much checked out. It's more.
When was the last time you seriously watched it? Still watch it now?
I still watch the original.
Right.
I've seen
Fear.
The first few
of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah,
and then I checked out.
But I'm saying I know that they don't, all the other shows. Yeah. I haven't been keeping up. I know that there's additional ones coming, and so I mean, I might check it out when they premiere, but it's one of those things where
it's too much. I think at this point, you're trying to tell too many stories.
It probably would have been better to do the original show. Fear has its following, so keep that going. And maybe giving it a little bit of a break.
And what is the point of Fear? What angle are they doing that's different?
No, that's Fear the Walking Dead was the second show that came. That was that angle was that.
When it was starting.
Exactly. Because in Walking Dead, it's all done.
Right.
And so you actually are watching the collapse of society in that show.
Right. And so now, as far as I know, the helicopter swooped and took Rick away. They all think he's dead.
Right.
And supposedly there's going to be a movie with him. He's got 2 movies.
Yeah, supposedly. I don't know, man.
And is the pinnacle the idea that he's now part of the government agency that's apparently now in control?
I have no.
But in terms of the comics, how does it sync up?
In the comic, it doesn't. Nothing like that. No. It's really interesting, and it's wild to think though, because so the comic ended with, I want to say I think it's issue 183, and it ended
the comic's over.
The comic is over. It ended. No. It ended. I won't say randomly, because it's not like there was no forewarning, but it didn't end. The forewarning was very short, or short notice. especially
but isn't it all Kirkland? Like, doesn't he decide?
Yeah,
and so he decided to just abruptly cut it off.
He's like, and I don't think
not to work on this other show.
Not abruptly. No. Well, who knows? I can't say because that it could be that. Right. I don't think so, but it could be that because it's not like he wasn't working on like. Well, no, actually, I guess he has other books that he's still doing. So I think that he always said he had an ending in mind for it, and I don't think it was the fact that it ended that was the issue. It was just the fact that
it did end. The comic ends.
That The Walking Dead, there's the final issue of that book has already been published.
But does it close everyone's story, or is it closed to be opened?
It closes, it gives the main people an ending. It's not to say that the story couldn't continue. It could. Did
the virus get reversed, or do we still have walkers?
No.
Walkers never go away.
And it's really interesting because one thing Kirkman had always said is that, the story I'm telling isn't about how a zombie apocalypse started.
Right.
It's about the people. Right. It's about the people that are in this situation.
Right.
You never get, like, he never tells us where the virus came from.
See, I think he was really brilliant. He would release another issue that shows that it started because people didn't get vaccinated. From whatever that first.
Why you always gotta make it political, Scott? No, like
I think that would be really funny.
Putting politics into our comics because Lord knows comics have never been political. Right. No, it's hilarious. Meanwhile, here's Captain America. But no, it's.
Let's talk about quickly Homelander.
The Boys.
Yeah, so it's the third season just started.
Yeah. Oh man, did you watch it?
No, I saw the second one, which I felt was a little bit of a drop off from the first.
The second season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I just it's so refreshing, and so like it was so refreshing that first season. Just like you can't believe someone's got the balls to do this, and that just shows you how Hollywood is almost capitulating to the Seth Rogen, these guys that are like, just let us get out of the way and let us tell our stories, right? Just stop trying to control it. And it looks like that's an example of letting them just do what they want.
I mean, yeah, but it's wild though, because it's like, the book, the comic that's based on is over the top as well. And it's intentionally over the top. Right. Like that's
the whole
point. Right. The show, in some ways, is tame in comparison, which is crazy to think.
Well, because you can go anywhere in a graphic. I mean, you
Yeah.
can go anywhere now in film, but it becomes logistically somewhat difficult depending on what you do.
But I mean, it's not even about not some of it isn't even just logistics.
Just the type of
some
violence.
Of it, violence and cruelty. Like for instance,
I mean, there's been plenty of cruelty.
Well, yeah, but like for instance, like just as an example, like you have the scene in the first season where you have the Deep making his move on Starlight and basically like telling her like, hey, this is what you got to do to be on the team, and it's like in the comic. It's raped her. It's no. I mean, it's still all rape, right? I mean, but what I'm saying is, there was more than just the Deep there.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like, and obviously that like, especially given the climate of things in the day and age that we're in, maybe you don't want like a group scene like that. That might be too much for people. But then at the same time, I guess that's the thing where they're like,
these are the worst.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm sure that. It was a discussion.
Like how do you explain to people how bad they are if you keep pulling back?
And so I think that was a compromise that got made where they're like, well, okay, what if we just have one guy in the room? It's just like, and that's the thing, like, but that is a difference where it's like, that feel like it's a whole different thing if you're like, okay, there's these three dudes and they're superheroes. And
I wonder how the actor that plays the Deep, how like when he first gets the role, he's like, this is awesome. And then he realizes that he's going to be humiliated.
Yeah. But I'm sure he knew, like, because it's like, it's one of those things where I don't know. I guess like you get, I'm sure they get some sort of at least piece of the script. Yeah. But then also the thing is, it's like, I don't know who does their research and who doesn't. Because some people, some actors, when they're playing these characters, they're like, I need to go to this source material and really kind of figure out like what the essence of this character is. And other people are like, well, I'm just going to bring my take to what I see on the page And it's not to say who's right. And who's
I have
wrong.
a feeling. What's his name will be doing that? Christian Bale when he's in. I guess he's going to be in Thor.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to be immersing himself in.
No, definitely not. And the funny thing is, like, it's already like way different. Like, which is that
Thor universe.
Well, yeah, because in the comic Gore, the God Butcher, which is the character that Christian Bale's playing, he looks very alien. And Christian Bale, he's all white, which is a lot.
Right.
But when you look at him, you can tell that's Christian Bale.
Right.
Gore the God Butcher basically looks like a mix between like Voldemort from like Harry Potter, but imagine if he had like head tails like the
Pirates of the Caribbean, Davy Jones.
You could, yeah, or like a oh geez, I'm forgetting the aliens from Star Wars. Yeah, like those basically. And he has like that Voldemort face, so he has no nose and has more of a flat kind of, and I'm sure Christian Bale was like, I want people to be able to recognize who I am at least. So, but I feel like if he had done the makeup, or if they've
already shot it.
Yeah, because Thor comes out like in like 2 weeks.
I thought it was like coming out a few years.
Listen, Marvel, when you talk about these Marvel movies now, whatever one they're talking about is about to come out because they put out 3 a year, right? So it's like, we just had Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Thor's coming out in July. Black Panther 2 comes out in November. I know. So it's like,
they
it's
realize
insane.
though that if you can get, it's almost like Madden, right? If
you
can get that annual release.
Absolutely. People are like, where's my fix? And they just go on like automatically. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, like, I'm not one of them. But at the same time, it's like, let's say they weren't popular. I would still be at these movies because I want to see this stuff. Like, hopefully, I would hope they're good. Like, I went to a lot of comic book movies that, were very terrible and was just like, man, one day, what I'm saying, on the hope, on the dream that one day they would be good. And I live it.
I showed my kids the 1978 Spider-Man TV movie.
Oh wow! What did they think of that?
He loved it. I mean, he loves superheroes.
Hey man, the fact I love that your kids can appreciate nostalgic things. Like they're like just because it's old doesn't make it bad.
Yeah. Like I show them. I make a point to show them old games, old TV shows, old movies. Like I went and brought up every old superhero film, like so they could see the old Wonder Woman TV show that I grew up on.
Yeah,
because that was awesome. Like I remember the Wonder Woman, the Batman TV show. Like that was my childhood, and the idea that those things which were so dismissed as garbage content, and now with AAA actors and $1 billion box, like just Spider-Man box office, is like
insane.
A character that is so timeless and old and so basic and so like that story is so simple and old, yet they were able to make a new version of this after the 15th version of it? 369
with all 3 of them in it.
With all 3 and break every record like it was nothing.
Without
China being involved in the distribution.
Yeah, they didn't release it in China. China was like, well, you can release it over here, but you got to take out the Statue of Liberty. And they're like,
oh, right. Yeah, I heard.
Like the Statue of Liberty is like the whole, you see this whole scene is all the Statue of Liberty. Like they literally swing around the Statue of Liberty. They're like, if you can take that out.
You're going to need to remove that.
I know. You're going to need to remove that. I'm just like, what would the Chinese version of that even been? Like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like can they edit around that?
They should have hired, what's his name? David Copperfield.
Make it disappear.
You should make it disappear. Just like send a bunch of people.
I like when they have pretended like it was some giant statue in China. Like, what would they have done? Like, I wonder what they would wanted them to do.
They would try to emigrate to the United States.
It's insane, man. But yeah, no, it's a wild thing. The only thing that bothers me about this era is like how people say that there are too many comic book movies. And I'm like, man, like,
you got a lot of catching up to do. I mean, think about how many years where it was kind of like we got the Green Hornet.
Yeah. But I guess it doesn't. I know I like comic movies more than most people. Right. So I can totally like understand that bias already, right? But I'm just like, if you want to call superhero movies its own genre,
Right.
which you can do that. I mean, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like spy movies
are their own genre.
But it depends, right? Not people.
Well, you could have like a spy movie thriller, but they're all kind of thrillers.
Well, yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, for instance,
How can you not make it a genre? They're all superheroes.
I don't think like Jason Bourne and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy are movies that people would be like, that's the same type of movie.
Yeah, but show me 2 superhero movies that were people like that. Those aren't the same type of superhero movies.
Well, I would say, like, like, you go with Spider-Man, and then you could go with, like, say, what's the joint? Birdman with Michael Keaton. You know what I'm saying?
Still, or you can. That's a superhero movie. The Birdman would be the ultimate in kind of abstract, artistic version, but it's still a superhero movie.
Okay, hey,
or you could call it a mental illness.
But let's say this: even if you want to call all the superhero or every movie with a superhero in it all one genre, I don't feel like as many superhero movies get released in one year as, say, dramas. But nobody's like, man, we got too many dramas coming out.
I think we do. Like, I think if you look at the amount of movies, like it used to be, you could walk into Blockbuster and be like, holy shit, where did all these movies come? I never even heard of these fucking movies.
Uh-huh.
They're making so many of everything just because of all the streaming services. Now I feel like they just flood it. Like they make it, put it into the channels and hope for the best. But if you were to say there's too many dramas, it would be drama is too big a category, whereas I feel like superheroes is very specific.
See, but I guess that's the thing where it's like they don't like they want to say it's a genre, and that's why I feel like
Unbreakable. That would probably be the closest thing I could say to you. Is that a superhero movie? I mean, it is, right?
I would call Unbreakable a superhero movie,
right? But it's not Spider-Man.
No, it's definitely not Spider-Man. Yeah,
but it still belongs in that genre.
See, but I guess but that's the thing. Like, I feel like I think that Unbreakable definitely belongs in the superhero movie. Like, if you were gonna make that a genre, yeah, I think it is because it's just more subtle about it and it's more like grounded, I guess, in some ways.
Are you actually saying there should be more superhero movies?
I think where we're at right now is fine.
Yeah,
I don't think we need more. What I'm saying is, I think people shouldn't say there's too many, because I think what they really mean is they don't like them.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
I would say there's too many horror movies. I mean,
nobody says that.
Oh my god!
But people, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Where it's like,
I think
most people don't go to horror movies. I don't think.
But I would say that we seem to be flooded with more than ever now.
You think so?
Oh my god!
I don't think it's that many.
I can't have the TV on for one night without a trailer for some movie where my wife is like, "Oh my god, I've never seen that."
Yeah, no,
my kids are like, "Oh,
yeah,"
because they're not just horror movies; they're like scary, thriller, psychopath movies. Like, it used to be like scary movie, but now it's almost like demented movies. Even the movie The Joker. I watched the movie The Joker, and I was like, this is dumb. Like, I really felt like it was a senseless, violent, almost jerk-off movie for guys. Yeah. I don't even know how to describe it. I remember just being so perplexed by that movie.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, and don't get me wrong.
Almost like it was made by somebody to go, look what I can get. Let me see what I can get.
Yeah, no, it feels 100% like that. And it's like one of these things where, here's the thing. Like, for me, I watched this joint and I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to go for here, but I don't think the Joker needs to be a part of this at all. Like, I don't like, it's like, you don't need, like, and I'm like, what, if I wanted to see this movie, I could have just watched Falling Down again. Like, Falling Down's a much better representation
and
of that kind of thing.
I think that's because Heath Ledger set that bar so high.
Yeah, Heath Ledger was a great
that there was almost no place else for this actor to go other than completely off the rails psychopath. Like, he was a psychopath in that movie, but in this movie he was just almost like a lazy psychopath. Right? Like, it felt like the Heath Ledger character was like a 12-layer cake that like you would see something and then cut into it and be like, oh shit. And then you would see something and be like, oh shit. It was just like constant. Whereas this one was just like someone dumping a milkshake.
Yeah, it's
seeing how long you would stand there and let it pour on you.
I don't feel like any of the performances are bad. Because I don't feel like no, I mean I don't.
It was De Niro and
Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix.
And Zazie Beetz is in it as well.
I just felt like they were almost. It was almost like someone said, "Let's see if we can make a movie where somebody who's psychologically on the edge might flip out and kill someone. Like this movie might make someone
actually in real life.
In real life.
Oh my god.
No. I really feel like they were pushing the chips in. Like it's like that movie is almost an antagonizing movie for people who are on the edge.
I hear you.
And you feel like society
I feel like that
has turned them out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so you watch this movie and
it gives them a little bit of justification.
Yeah, that's me. Motherfucker's right. Like I feel like almost the whole Trump movement was all these collective people at the point going, that motherfucker's right. We deserve better. Let's go. Let's take the Capitol.
And see, and I guess,
and the movie almost gives you, in this society today, movies are so realistic and so visceral and so real that it's almost like giving somebody a pill of reality, like a dose. A dose.
Yeah, I hear you. And while I can agree with you that I think that movies and games, for that matter, like these things are all more immersive than they've ever been.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
How real do we want it to be?
Exactly right. I think that you're right in that sense. I feel like at the same time, it's like, it's still art. So I can't mess around and feel like, say, oh, well, it was this piece of content that made that person or instigated that person to do this. It's like, that's that person. Yes. And the art is separate from.
I agree that people are triggered for different reasons.
Right.
But this to me almost felt like,
it's somebody,
let's see if we can, like almost like someone said, can you make that cake? And someone's like, I bet you I can make that cake.
Right.
Because it just felt like, especially in Warner Brothers, I feel like Warner Brothers specifically, I'm not kidding. I feel like it's almost a conspiracy with Warner Brothers. They put out movies that play into this whole vigilante, kill or be killed. Even if you're doing, it's okay to hurt people if you're doing good. It's okay to sneak into people's privacy if you're doing it. It's okay to break the law. Is like there was a movie
ends
with
justify the means.
Yes, it was a movie with, it was like not The Untouchables, but they made a new version with Sean Penn. It was really bad. It was Warner Brothers. Okay. It was like The Untouchables, but it was like, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago. And the whole thing was a movie in where the cops secretly broke the law because they knew the bad guy was doing something wrong. Right. And they felt like it's okay for us to break the law as long as we feel like we're doing something good. Yeah. And I feel like these are movies that are meant to tell the public it's okay if the police do break the law because they're helping you. Yeah. It's almost like this mass hypnotism. Yeah. Don't worry about the cops. Yeah. Don't worry about vigilantes. Yeah. Like violence is okay to solve problems.
Right. And I definitely I can't deny the potential influence. I can't do it. At the same time, I feel like I think in the society that we live in,
that's where we are.
Not only is that where we are, but we have to have that possibility in order for us to live up to our higher ideals in this country.
The possibilities of anarchy.
Well, yes, but here's the thing. And I think this is the important distinction to make.
Family home.
That's the important distinction to make based on what you were talking about.
Right. You talk to the viewers for a few minutes.
I will do it. All right. All right. I'm going to sit in this chair so I can actually see chat if there's anybody in there. Let's see. My eyes are bad, so I gotta move up. Let's see. Everything is entertainment. This is why The Boys is so good. There it is. It flips all of that on its head. Word. Mary Young, Beta 76. What up, Beta? Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I see Griffin Payer in chat. says the only one I haven't seen is the Venom sequel. Oh, do yourself a favor, Griffin. Don't do it. It's not great. Not great, man. I definitely watched Let There Be Carnage, and I was like, man, when is this going to be over? But anyway, what? Oh, ATF Griff. What up, ATF Griff? Man, look, it is good to see y'all, man. It's been way too long. It's been way too long. Yeah.
So who do we have?
We got Beta 76 is in chat.
Look at that.
ATF Griff is in chat.
Wow.
So yeah, man, there are definitely some all gamers in there. It's good stuff. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, it is good to see you. So the point of going live today was a couple things. One, we haven't seen each other in years.
Yeah.
So we
It's
wanted
been too
to
long, like since
talk. But I built this room specifically for those tapes. So there's 1,000 hours of AGI and Game Time and G4. It's all in there. And somehow I was able to connect with the people at GameStop who are launching their NFT marketplace very, very soon. If you go to allgames.com/NFT, there should be a page there that explains kind of what's going on. But essentially, they're giving me the opportunity to create some NFTs around the content from All Games past. And if people want that content, they will be buying it. And that money will go towards getting the rest of the archives up and creating new content. And the main overall goal is to get every show accessible and available, but then to create new shows to find out what the hell happened to everybody and who is a millionaire game developer now and who is working at Best Buy telling people about video games. And
my vote is Redmond. Redmond's probably a millionaire game developer right now. Makes sense. Or millionaire game writer.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Makes
and
sense. I miss Redmond.
And Arena Ron sells modified guns in Israel.
See, again, I don't even know if that's a truth or
true.
if that's lies.
No, that's a real thing.
I don't know it's true anymore.
Somebody sent me a
modified in what way?
So someone sent me a video of him at a trade show in Israel. He sells the gun that shoots around corners. So there's like a gun that like can go around, and that's kind of, I think that's what they do. But they modify weapons, and he works for the company that does modification. It was a YouTube video of Ron, adult Ron, at a show explaining this gun, how it works, and it was like a salesman.
And somebody was like, "Is that Arena Ron?"
I could not believe it. But he was very knowledgeable about guns. So that's Arena Ron.
Did he have his baseball cap on?
He wasn't turning them into water guns, and I don't know if he had that baseball cap on.
Okay.
But he must have had a hat on.
Yeah, I'm sure he had something.
He doesn't go for the yarmulke anymore.
Yeah. But he's in Israel though, so maybe he was okay with the yarmulke in Israel.
Yeah, I do wonder though why, how that feels to have a life here.
Yeah.
Everything going on, and then all of a sudden your parents are like, "Oh, you're moving to Israel."
Yeah, I know.
They made that decision for him.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and Ron, I understand, like being from an immigrant family myself, it's like I understand sometimes when you're
go back.
I don't want to go back.
No,
I've never.
Sometimes the family wants to
go back. Yeah, absolutely. And also too, it's like, immigrant parents, it's like they're like, hey, I sacrificed a lot for you to be here. So if I need you to do something, you do it.
Right.
So I can't knock him, but at the same time, because I know he had a whole family that was all living in
4 kids.
Yeah, that was all living in the US, and to uproot everybody and go, it's like, wow, that's a big deal.
What's the Genesis box behind you on top of the shelf? Up there? All the way in the corner there.
Oh.
That is, it's a Genesis. That is the Sega Genesis that Laura and Tina got me for my birthday, I think, or for Christmas on G4TV.com.
Oh, wow.
And the actual Genesis is right here. That's it, I think. Or maybe not.
That's
I have Xbox One, Xbox 360, Genesis.
It feels like there's
and
something
64.
in this box.
Oh, it might be in.
Yeah, it might be in the box.
N64, Xbox, GameCube.
Do you not have a Switch?
I don't have a Switch.
Dude.
And my friends' kids, I got them some Switch games because they have a Switch. But I feel like
A Switch is an amazing system.
that's the other weird thing about my kids is they've grown up without Nintendo, right? So like almost every kid has like some Nintendo.
It's the only parenting mistake Scott Rubin's making. It's the only
I seriously
one.
have kept them away. However, it really comes down to Nintendo creating such a walled garden because they could put some of it, like they had one iOS Mario game that my kids tried, but it was kind of weak. But they just haven't had any of that experience until I got those to work, but they wouldn't work. And so I just went with an emulator. And so he's played Super Smash Brothers, which was cool.
Yeah.
And they like Mario.
Yeah, of course.
But what's absolutely shocking is how much my kids love Sonic.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
What?
I mean,
where do they get the Sonic love from?
I mean, they
from the movie.
Well, not really. Like I first gave him Sonic the Hedgehog, the Genesis game, when it was on, I guess, Xbox Arcade or on the PlayStation.
Wow. Oh yeah, because they did like yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, this was my jam. I wasn't a Mario, I was Sonic.
Yeah.
So my son, he really liked it, and he played a lot.
It's a great game.
And he was like 3.5, and
That's
I'll never forget this day. And he was getting to the end of a level, where Eggman comes, and then there's that boss. And I can't remember what it was, but it was like a round thing where Eggman comes, and he's constantly dropping things, and you have to keep dodging it. And he kept getting killed. He's 3.5. And he kept going and going. He's frustrated. I'm like, just relax, take your time, blah, blah, blah. And I turn around after 1.5 minutes, and he is in hysterical tears, crying hysterically. He's so upset that he can't finish that level. It's too hard.
He's used to things being easy.
I mean,
because that's what games are in the modern day.
He had never been challenged.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not a game for a 3.5-year-old. Yeah. But he wasn't upset. He was distraught. No, like devastated, hysterically crying. Like I couldn't console him. I'm holding him. He's like, I can't. I'm like, no more video games. No more. This is bad. This is not good. I mean, it was heartbreaking how devastated he was. Like I couldn't console him. He cried for 10 to 20 minutes straight. And I was like, no more. No, we have to shut this off. And that made him even more crazy because now he couldn't finish it.
Right.
Because I was taking it away from him.
Right.
And it was just awful.
So how'd you resolve it?
I think I let him play Spider-Man for the PS4.
Wait, so has he never played Sonic again?
Oh, no, he went back.
Oh, okay.
He went back to it.
I was about to say, I was like,
and he loves it. And he's played multiple different versions. But they got so into it that my son and daughter both have watched every single Sonic cartoon, every episode. Sonic Go, Sonic whatever. I mean, there must be 5 different series.
Yeah, there's a lot of series. Yeah,
he's seen every single episode. He knows every character.
Wow.
He knows Metal Sonic, Black Sonic, Shadow. More than I liked the game, but I didn't get. There was no lore.
There was lore,
but
it would not like
I played Sonic in '84.
You didn't read the instruction booklet?
See? I don't think so.
Lore. No, that's why I missed.
But I mean, they fell so in love with Sonic that his 2nd or his 4th birthday party was a Sonic party. His 5th birthday party was a Sonic party. We had to order. There are no little Sonic figurines of certain characters.
Yeah.
So my wife had to buy a cake top set from like Korea or something that brought like 7 or 8 of the little Sonic characters for his cake. And then he uses them as toys, and they have Sonic costumes, and they dress up. And I mean, it blew me away how deep it is. And then the movie came out. I'm like, what are the odds?
Right.
that my kids like Sonic. It's been around for 30 years, and all of a sudden there's a brand new movie with Jim Carrey, and now there's a sequel, and now there's a new Netflix. Like Sonic, just in the past 4 years has turned, and now it's like the Sonic universe. Right? The
100%.
The persistent world of Sonic. And
it's crazy.
It's really fascinating. But I was glad that I introduced them to something that turned into something so much more. You know, I thought they were going to play a few of the early versions. But it's like literally one of their favorite things.
That's
ever.
Really crazy. And that, it is insane, especially like I know when that Sonic movie came out, like I saw it, but I wasn't like, I mean, the whole controversy about what Sonic looked like and how the fans were like, no, it needs to look like this. And then the studio actually changed it. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I give them a lot of props for that because it looked a lot better.
Yes.
However, I was just like, okay, like, you know, I mean, it's not like I dislike Sonic, but I never felt any need to go see a Sonic movie. And how
many Marvel movies have you seen? Everyone?
All of them.
And you couldn't give 2 hours to Sonic?
Well, it's not that I couldn't. I didn't feel the need. But my boy Raymond and then Joe from Fantastic Forum, they wanted to see it. And so I went with them. I'm like, okay, well, in my mind, I'm just like,
I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen either one of them.
How did you?
Because I got it for them.
Who took the kids to the movie?
It was here, and I think I was working, and they watched it one night with their grandmother while I was working, and it just looked dumb. So,
well, what I will tell you is this. I went to the movies with Raymond and with Jay to go watch this movie, and I was fully like, I'm just going to go and hang out with them. It's going to be dumb. I'm not really worried about it. And I went to go see the first movie, and I was like, this movie is actually way better than has any business being. Like, I was shocked. I was like, wow, I really enjoyed this movie.
I was amazed that they were able to actually, like, find a story there.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they're making a movie, what was the other game that they're making a movie?
Oh, a lot of them.
Missile Command or something like they make.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah. Look, I mean, they were getting ready to make a Mario movie with whatchamacallit.
Yeah, but
Chris
Mario
Pratt.
makes sense.
Yeah,
like, this was like Missile Command.
Yeah,
like there was nothing. And
I mean, they made 2 Angry Birds movies, right?
And actually, the second Angry Birds movie wasn't that bad.
Well, hey, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen it.
That one I did watch with the kid. Now, Heck, talking about the Chip and Dale movie, which I did just see with my kid 2 weeks ago, and Ugly Sonic is in the movie.
Ugly Sonic is in the movie.
And it's great.
That was hilarious. But I feel like Ugly Sonic being in the movie is one of the best parts of the movie.
Yes,
I know personally, I wasn't that big of a fan.
As someone said, I have always wondered why we have never gotten another Roger Rabbit. Like, Who Framed Roger Rabbit isn't just a technical marvel for its time. Because it really was that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a great movie.
Yeah.
With great acting.
Yeah.
And great voices.
I agree.
And an opportunity to put Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Daffy Duck at the same time. The piano scene. I mean, there's so many great things in that movie. Why didn't they ever do it again? I don't know.
It's corporate interest. That's why.
This felt like a little homage to that.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
And I like that they did it where it was like down on his luck and the plastic surgery. And I thought that was very clever.
And it is clever. And in a different movie, I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Wow.
I will say, though, that there's like literally news stories about the lawyer, for the studio for that movie. That's just like, it was a nightmare. Like getting all these. I
feel like once you figure out what the number is, it's just a licensing issue, right? Like
No, it's not though. It's not just the number, because it's the number is a part of it. Definitely, like the number actually might be the easier part, because what happens is after the number, then it's like, but the stipulation is they have to look like this, or they can't do that.
Again,
and it's
if you're asking to put someone's character in your movie, you better expect that they're going to want full control over how it looked. And I thought the perfect example was the Bugs Bunny in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where he has the piano duel, right? Ain't I a stinker? They didn't change anything about Bugs Bunny. They honored him.
Yeah.
I actually felt like they elevated him, made him even a little more kind of old school Bugs Bunny, because old school Bugs Bunny was a nasty little bastard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I felt like that was brought back. So how could that be an issue? If I'm making a movie and I want Bugs Bunny in my movie, I'll do anything. The number is where I'm, what does it cost to get him? But I want to do honor to him.
I guess I think of it more so from the idea of like, okay, if you have a creative vision of like what, like,
well, your creative vision shouldn't have another studio's character in it.
Well, why not? That's the whole what Who Framed Roger Rabbit is.
Yeah, but your vision for that character, like if they had Bugs Bunny doing a gag that wasn't Bugs Bunny-ish, I'm sure they would have said no.
That's true. That's true.
And it's part of the talent of the creator of the movie to figure out a way that makes them go, yeah, we want Bugs Bunny in your movie.
It's one of those things where like some requests are reasonable.
Yeah.
And then there are other requests that are like, oh, really? That's what that's what it takes for us to have this.
But I think once you get past, they're not going to do it, you can just go parody and you can do whatever you want anyway. I think that's how they got Sonic in there.
I guess
that's parody. That's ugly Sonic. They didn't pay for Sonic to do
Did they not?
No way. That's parody. You think Sonic would give them that license to use him? I don't think they gave him the license at all.
I don't know. I mean,
it's parody, satire.
Maybe. I don't know. Like it might be. I look because
they say Google did Sonic.
He's like, what do I
Google ask? Did Chip and Dale pay to use Sonic the Hedgehog in the movie?
Here's what I found.
How Chip and Dale put ugly Sonic in the movie. Thank you. Let's see. It's incredible Paramount was willing to let this happen. Not just license the character it has exclusive film rights to, but also specifically the version that caused the internet to implode. Blah, 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 blah. Sonic's role. I hate these articles where they just regurgitate the stuff you already know for the first paragraph, and then the last one's like, "This is happening on Disney Plus."
Yeah, I know. that's the way they go. It's a formula.
It doesn't say.
Well, it said in the beginning that
CGI model for ugly Sonic isn't the same one from Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, you can go. Oh, sorry. I'm here. Okay, sorry. My mother-in-law is leaving, so my children will now be destroying. Hello, do you have a hold for us on August 27th? Sorry.
Oh, jeez, man.
Just getting some voicemail messages.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they had to license it because it's literally called Ugly Sonic. Like
that's parody. Satire.
It's like one of those things. Let's put it like this: from a legal perspective, all they would have to prove is that it's too close.
No, not for parody. Not for parody. As long as you're Google. Hey Siri, how you doing? Google me the rules for using other IP as parody.
I'm sitting here like, if Siri pulls this off.
I found this on the web.
Yeah, here you go.
What did it find?
No problem. All right. A parody, because it is a method of criticism, must inevitably make use of another creative work.
Mm-hmm.
This inherently creates conflict between the creator of that work, blah, blah, blah. Since copyright it's fair use. It may be necessary for the parodist to rely on the fair use defense itself to be only a parody of the original, which you could say Ugly Sonic is a parody of regular Sonic, no?
Well, but I think that's the whole thing. Like the argument I would be making would be that was Sonic. And it's not Sonic now, but we created that version of Sonic. And so they're using a version of Sonic that we created. So it's like, it's not like your version of Sonic. That's our version of Sonic. It's like, okay, maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's so close that it's like, and Ugly Sonic is what it was called. So it's like, it's almost like licensing a character in the Sonic universe, But, somebody.
Yeah, they did license them.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah.
They know better than me.
I know. Like
not a parody. So my Ugly Ron character is not going to be able to be used.
No,
I have to avoid it.
You can use Ugly Ron because Arena Ron would be like, oh, well, that's not me because he's ugly and I'm beautiful. I'm handsome. answer wrong.
Exactly. My mother-in-law is leaving, so there goes my babysitter. So I'm gonna have to take over parenting skills, but
we'll do it again.
We will do this again. And what would be a good time? Because you do your show, Fantastic Forum, when?
I do Fantastic Forum 6:30 p.m. every Wednesday night. FantasticForum.live if you want to go check it out. I would appreciate anybody that wants to come through and say hi. We talk about comic book movies, TV, comic books, of course. We talk about animated shows. We talk about all types of random stuff. It's, yeah.
And do any of the old listeners call in? Like any names?
Hecht is there almost every week. Tiger Claw's there almost every week. And like Derek H will call in as well. So, there are definitely all gamers there. But it's like whether you've been around or not, like come through, hang out, come say hi, especially when we always talk about whatever, like this last week we just finished talking about the finale for Kenobi, and then we talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, which is the new beat 'em up video game that just came out. So because those are all comic book properties, right? They're all awesome stuff. So yeah, and we always digress into some other stuff. So
Fate 13 says, I just want to say I'm sorry for never finishing my Madden semifinal game for you at the IGN Madden tourney in 2010.
Oh, sheesh.
Well, let's finish it. I have Madden on Xbox.
No,
AGN on Xbox. Also, there's so much other stuff that I would love to talk to you guys about, specifically VR. Love VR. There's a lot of opportunity for doing a show in VR with you in the studio. So maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about that. If you are at all interested in NFTs and what GameStop is doing with their NFT marketplace, join me back here at allgames.com tomorrow. I believe there might be some kind of announcement. They haven't told us anything officially, just that we should be ready. So I can tell you more about that as that marketplace launches. But if you're into NFTs at all and you know anything about them and you want to teach me, I would love to learn. So email me, Scot@allgames.com. Actually, don't even use that one. Just go to Discord. Don't email Scot@allgames. It's filled with spam. And that's it. Mary Young.
Hey.
Tuesdays is Tuesdays possible? Like in the early part of the day?
I mean, we might be like, I'm sure we can work it out. Like, because I don't foresee right now why that couldn't happen.
Okay.
But yeah,
even if it's just like a little check-in that we do remotely,
absolutely.
and start to like put some pieces into place, because
I love it.
There isn't a week that goes by that I don't get requests from people for the archives. They want like the stuff at Arena. They want the stuff that was done in the garage.
Had such a good time.
And
the garage. Oh, dude,
there's just so much content that's literally was on Twitch and now it's gone. So we'll slowly get it back up.
We will.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Scott Rubin.
Mary Young, say hello.
Later, everybody. Thanks for coming by.